So I'm Sandra, I come from France, and my journey with Spring Forest Qigong started in 2019 when a friend of mine introduced me to Qigong. At the time, I was working 80-hour weeks, and I had run myself to the ground, very, very unfortunately. I am a founder, and I have a very busy company with 150 employees, and I had been building that company for many years, and I could see that I was getting close to burnout, and I just couldn't stop. And then one day, my body said stop, and I completely collapsed. At the time, I really, really didn't know what to do. I went to see many doctors. No one could really figure out what I had except huge burnout. I was completely bedridden. I was having terrible anxiety attacks. I couldn't sleep at all. And my body was basically so shut down that I started having autoimmune diseases such as severe food allergies. So I basically couldn't eat anything. And that really meant nothing. My body was rejecting absolutely everything. So I lost about 35 pounds. I was really weak. I couldn't sleep. And then I developed severe asthma. So I couldn't sleep. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't eat. And I was really at a loss because any little medicine that I would take, my body would reject. I couldn't take any vitamins. I literally could not take anything. And when you can't take anything, you get worse and worse and worse. Living on water is not exactly something that you can survive on. So my friend, a very good friend of mine, told me, well, why don't you try Spring Forest Qigong? It really worked for me. And he's a diabetic. And he said that of all of the things that he tried, it's really, really, really helped him. And I was really skeptical at the Qigong. Okay, well, but I was desperate enough. And so I thought, I'll try. And so I joined Spring Forest Qigong. They had an online virtual event, and they had online classes. And I started doing the 5 elements, the movements. And I also met with Master Lin and had several sessions. And at the beginning, I remember I was so skeptical. I said to Master Lin, listen, I can't eat anything. I'm exhausted. I can't even stand up. I'm bedridden. I'm completely burnt out. I'm so emotional. I'm having panic attacks, and I'm so anxious. And, you know, maybe you can help me a little bit. If you can help me a little bit, it'll be good. And he laughed and he said, listen, by the time we're done, you'll have absolutely no more food allergies. You'll have no more asthma, and you'll go back to being totally fine. I said, okay, well, you know, yes, but if I can eat just a little bit more, that would be great. I'm not asking for a miracle here. Just, you know, if I could get a little bit better. And what happened was, over the course of the weeks, as I was doing my practice every day, at the beginning, I actually got worse. I felt really, really bad, if that's possible, because I was already feeling really bad. But I ached everywhere. I was having more nightmares. I felt like someone was sitting on my chest all day long. So not only asthma, I couldn't breathe, but I was like this compression. I was really, really bad. And I remember saying to Master Lin, listen, you know, it's getting worse. I don't know. I really don't feel well. I don't know if I'm not doing the movements right. Something is not right. And he said, keep going. Keep going. Something is happening. The chi is moving. And so I thought, I'm just going to trust. I am going to trust that I'm going to get completely better. And I'm going to give 300% to what I'm doing. And so I decided I'm going to do the practice 3 times a day. So I would do 20 minutes in the morning when I would wake up, 20 minutes at lunchtime, and 20 minutes in the evening. And I did it over and over and over again. And I continued to see Master Lin, and something started happening. It's very, very difficult to explain what happens, because it's this energy. It's this chi that starts getting ignited within you with the help of Master Lin's support and with my practice. And the more I did it, not only did I get stronger and better, but I started feeling happy. It was kind of like my body started getting addicted, right? So every day, while at the beginning it was very, very difficult to do and I was not feeling well, then it became like, oh my gosh, I've got to do my, like addiction, right? I got to do my practice. If I don't do my practice, I don't feel well. And it took many, many months. And in fact, to be really, really honest, it took a couple of years for me to get completely better. It was 2 to 3 years until I really, really felt, okay, I'm well now. Every morning I would set an intention. That was very important as well, and something Masculine talks about a lot. My intention was always to clear all of the blockages in my body. And so I would use the power of my breath and the movements to really set that intention at the beginning of each of our practice. My breath is cleansing and clearing all of the blockages in my body, and all of the channels in my body are opening, and I'm feeling better. I'm feeling better. And then I started thinking, well, I feel better. I feel great. I feel great. And that became my intention. Well, today I feel great. I feel great. Blockages are gone. Today I can say that I'm completely healed. I eat everything. I've regained all my weight and more. I eat a little bit too much, I would say, but I'm very, very happy. I have no more asthma. I can breathe. I can eat. I can sleep. And I feel really balanced, most of all. I actually feel more balanced than before I got unwell. I've got a new outlook on life, and I feel, well, I know for a fact that I can heal myself, that I have that power within me, that, the chi within me is very strong, and that through the power of my intention, and of course through the power of, Masculine and the guides and the universe and the universal energy, that, it is possible to heal oneself, which is what I did, and it is that combination, I would say, of self-effort, a lot of self-effort, and a lot of grace. So I'm very, very, very grateful. So when you first start doing Qigong, keep going. For me at the beginning, it was, I'm somebody I'm quite impatient. I've always been very driven. And so at the beginning, it can seem like nothing much is going on. In fact, it can seem like you are not feeling better. You're actually feeling worse sometimes. And it requires a lot of consistency and a lot of discipline. It's not an overnight miracle, or maybe for some people it is. For me, it wasn't an overnight miracle. It really required me to trust and to be consistent and to be disciplined. And so for anyone who's starting on this journey, I would say, don't lose hope. Have faith. Have faith in the intelligence of your body. Have faith in the intelligence of the chi, and have faith in yourself, in your innate ability to heal.